ECS 210 Summary of Learning. Hi, this is me. My name's Maria Carey, and these are my thoughts on how ECS 210 has shaped me, ways it has challenged my own beliefs, areas of growth, and some areas of uncertainty. So, the first assignment was to develop my educational philosophy. So, this meant looking at different theorists and discovering more about kind of what education has the potential to be. So, I think that teaching is more than imparting knowledge, it is inspiring change. I like that I talked about valuing diverse ideas and collaboration of them because something that we were told in the very first class is that education is not neutral. I did not know what that meant when Katia said it, but now trying to summarize my learning, I am seeing it. Education is so not neutral. So any issue that is politically contentious can also turn into a curriculum dispute. That's from page 15 of this reading by Ben Levin. So, because we are educating young members of our society, what we teach them is not just random, it's political, it's not neutral. I like that I included my value of integrity, but I also don't think you always have to be whole and undivided. I think uncertainty is okay. I think it means that you are possibly being critical of what you believe. So, Kumashiro, I actually didn't include him in my educational philosophy, but I think his points on common sense, partial knowledge, and troubling knowledge are very important to understand as a future educator, because just knowing the normal, common sense side of things can mean you only know part of the knowledge, and that can lead to misconceptions and oppressive situations in your classroom. Sometimes discomforting learnings are the ways to break down these common sense ideas. An important quote from this reading, The Problem of Common Sense, is ironically, although the status quo may be comforting for its familiarity and for providing a sense of normalcy, it is also quite oppressive. So, if the goal of this course was to get me to rethink how I interpret curriculum, then I think it was a success. At the beginning, I had the classic common sense idea of what curriculum is. I saw it as these official documents that all teachers use as a guide of what to teach in each subject. So there is this formal curriculum, but there's also hidden curriculum, null curriculum, curriculum as place, and curriculum as lived. I didn't know that hidden curriculum was a real thing that people actually talked about, but now I see it everywhere, and I'm aware of the norms, values, and beliefs that I pass on when I'm teaching. I think curriculum as place is one of my more significant learnings in this course because our schools are pretty white, westernized places that transmit white values and ways of teaching. And the place you're teaching affects the way curriculum is understood and the way it's perceived. Have we moved beyond Tyler's rationale? I don't know. I think we're pretty stuck in the way of having a target, then teaching the content, and then testing to see how much of the content the students retained. But to kind of disrupt the evaluation, testing part of it, I did a presentation in another class this semester, and I felt good about it. I got a good response, and then had a constructive conversation with my prof after. Then later, I realized that I got my rubric back, but I didn't even look at my mark. I didn't really care. Like, I cared how I did, but I knew that I didn't bomb it, and so looking back now, I guess I felt that I did a good job and I learned something from doing the presentation. I gained public speaking experience, and I didn't need that reassurance from a number out of 100. So maybe I am moving past the normal idea of evaluating. So I did my curriculum critique assignment on Saskatchewan's Treaty Ed outcomes and indicators. and concluded that a major problem with this curriculum is just that teachers don't use it. So I think teachers avoid teaching treaty ed because it is bringing up difficult conversations. I know that in my social context, being a white, middle class, fairly privileged female, it can be scary trying to teach the hard truth about the colonization of Canada, and it's easier to just not. Treaty ed is tough to incorporate into a lesson, but something that I learned in the multidisciplinary treaty ed lesson plan project is that when you do incorporate it and it works well, then you feel like your lesson was just so much more meaningful. So I think actually experiencing teaching a math lesson with treaty ed outcomes was a valuable moment for me. And another valuable moment was on Monday, February 13th, when Mike Capello said something that I could not forget. He said, "I will spend the rest of my life being a recovering racist. I am a committed anti-racist. As an educator, I care about kids. I know how Aboriginal people are treated. I can't live with myself not doing anything about it." So I think that was just really powerful and important for all of us to hear in that lecture. Lots of language we use is deficit thinking. We are geared towards othering and seeing them as less than. Society has turned me into a person who immediately makes assumptions about people and takes a single story as their entire truth, and that's not fair. I wish I could say that everyone's truth matters equally in our society, because that's what I believe. Difference should be valued, not pitied. Everyone's truth matters. Is that in our curriculum? Amanda asked me, "How do you think you will incorporate this learning into your classroom?" And this might be easier said than done, but I, as a teacher, will not underestimate the capacity of truth that my students can handle. I will do my best to not accept or support privilege because it creates an oppressive environment for students who don't fit the norm. I will invite all perspectives, and I will think about where curriculum comes from and how politics and dominant perspectives could have affected the development of the curriculum that I'm teaching. Schools are not a factory. A school is not a place where a kid asks you a discomforting question and you brush it off because you don't think they can handle it or you can't handle it. How can we help students be the best version of themselves if we don't challenge them and expect more of them? I'm going to be honest, I didn't really understand what it meant to think critically or look at something critically before. But now, after being exposed to other perspectives, I have been able to think critically about my own beliefs, where these beliefs come from, and how they affect my day-to-day life, and importantly, how they will shape me as a teacher. So that's my Education Core Studies 210 summary of learning. Thanks for watching.